Um, you see, music is entirely a different profession altogether. First of all, you see, a lot of people associate music with religion. Some associate that with spirituality, whereas I've never associated music with religion, but more on spirituality. So in that manner, I mean, what music does is it teaches you discipline, first of all. Discipline, and there are few things you are supposed to follow very strictly, especially your riyas, your practice, and your devotion. And music is something, not only music, any form of arts per se, it demands your 100% attention, love, attention, and only if you have this, you will be able to go far with music, because you have to really pay 100% attention. You see, I know a lot of them are learning as part-time or as a hobby. That's a different thing altogether. But if you are taking up music or dance or vocal or any form of arts as full-time, then it's a different ball game altogether, because it demands minimum 5 hours of your practice. So I would say it's more like on the spiritual line. As for me, for others might be different. Yeah. It was only later, after I finished my Form 5, because initially I wanted to become a lawyer or an engineer. Back then, because of my family financial situation, I couldn't pursue my studies. Then I decided to go into music. Then that is the time I realized, okay, this is you see, every one of us got a mission. I never realized what my mission was until after my Form 5, when I started picking up music as my full-time profession. Then everything started falling into place. Then I thought, okay, this is my mission, and that's how I got into it. Of course, those days, a lot of, you see, even I myself learnt in a very traditional manner. Of course, I learnt from Mr. Maheshwaran in Temple of Fine Arts. That's a different thing. But with the other masters like Mr. Rajkumar Sharma, Professor Hari Dev, and it was a different way. That is known as a Gurukul system, which means like you are very attached to your master. That is a different way of learning, that most of the time we will spend with our master, and that's how we learn. That is the Gurukul system. But nowadays, a lot of them, it's more like regimented. They just come for class about half an hour, 1 hour, and then they go and practice. So it's entirely different. So those days, not only here, even in India was different. And elsewhere, even in Western countries, the way you teach, the relationship between the Guru Sishya is entirely different. The bond is not the same. Oh, pandemic has really done great damage, not only to me, to a lot of artists, a lot of teachers as well. Because you see, this is not like academic studies, whereby, the teacher just read from the book and then you explain. No, this is practical. Sometimes you see, sitar has about 20 strings. Most of the time, the problem that I find is the instrument itself will be out of tune. So how do you expect one to teach, online? Because the student, they don't know how to tune. That is from the teaching aspect. And a lot of musicians, some of my friends, they play in clubs and so on. So they are like daily wage earners, loss of income. Some of them have even sold their instruments, to support themselves. So it has really hit badly. Like myself, I used to travel a lot. My main income is actually performing. Teaching is just a bonus. So in that manner, even my income has been affected very, very, not only me, a lot of them. Some schools have even closed down because they couldn't sustain, they have to pay the rental and so on. So it has really done a lot of damage. Of course, I mean, art is the only thing I would say will determine what race you are. I mean, to start with, isn't it? And I mean, think about a world without music. Think of a world without music. I mean, today a lot of them are talking about frontliners. Yes, they are doing great job, and really they are. But if you really look at it, most of them were at home. What were they doing? Listening to music, watching movies, and who are the entertainers? The artists. Let them be whether actors, musicians, singers, dancers. These were the people kept everyone entertaining at home. So it plays a very important role in our life. I mean, of course, work is work, family is family. We have to have some kind of entertainment also. So it can be music, dance, painting, whatever. Frankly speaking, I never expected in my life to be honored. I always believe, and I'm not sure which album, in one of the album, there was this quote of mine: honor the art and the art will honor you. You know, so that's what I have always believed in. Not only in art, I would say in any profession, anything. If you really give your heart and soul, definitely you will get the return. But don't expect to be honored. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it's okay, no problem. That is not the end of the world. So that's how I've been looking at it. So in fact, I'm very happy, and I would like to thank Sugam Karnataka. I really appreciate, and I feel honored to be given this. Upcoming musicians, I would say, upcoming and other musicians, I would say, music is something where, you see, you shouldn't learn not only music, any form of, let me just talk generally as art. You don't learn any art to become famous, you know, to gain name and fame. That will never last. What you have to, whenever you do something sincerely and honestly, that will bring you name, fame, and all kinds of returns which you wouldn't have expected. You see, I've never expected that I will be an artist someday. I just thought I'm just going to be a musician, I'm going to just start teaching. So it will happen very naturally. So forget about the name, fame, all this stuff. Just dedicate your life in music. But if you have this intention of making money, becoming someone rich, then I would strongly suggest music and arts is not the line for you. I mean, it is music and arts, it is kind of like you take sannyasam. You know, when you take sannyasam, you don't expect anything. If it happens, it happens. If you have that kind of mindset, by all means go full time into this. If not, you can just learn for the fun of it. You can just learn as a hobby, and still you'll be fine.
Thank